So let's go ahead and work on long division. Now that we have two places, okay, and this is where it may look a little different than what you've done before. Okay, 45. Does 45 go into 1? Does 45 go into 10? Does 45 go into 103? Yes, it goes in twice. Okay, no doing this on the side. This is not allowed. I told you. What did I tell you? Okay, are you ready? That is not the correct way to do long division. What did I tell you guys was going to happen? You were going to argue with me, right? I already told you were going to argue with me, and I told you not to do it, right? Okay, I know. Try harder. Okay, so this is how you're going to do this, and it's going to make your life easier if you just listen to me. Okay? All right, open mind. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. It's the same thing as doing it on the side over here. You're doing the exact same thing, but you're doing it right inside of the problem. Joey, when I start putting variables in here, it's going to make your life easier. Otherwise, you're going to confuse yourself. Just 2 times 5 is 10. The same thing you do over here. I don't understand why your 4th grade teachers taught you to do it on the side when you could have done it in the problem. Okay? It's going to confuse you more. 2 times 5 is 10, right? Right below it, carry the 1. It's the same thing. I just did the exact same thing, only I did it inside the problem. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. It's the same thing you did here. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. It's the same thing. Okay, I'm just 1. All right, so I'm going to draw the line and change the sign. 3 minus 0 is 3. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down the 5. 45 goes into 135. It might go in 3 times. Let's try. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 1 is 13. Draw the line. Change the sign. What's it? Holy cow. All right. Okay, so multiplication and division are all within the multiplication chart, correct? So if I want to know how many times 4 goes into 8, it goes in twice, right? The multiplication chart actually looks just like our box that we have, our multiplication box, correct? So before you've been saying x times x is x squared. Now you're going to say, how many times does x go into x squared? It goes in x times. It looks just like a multiplication chart. How many times does x go into 5x? 5 times. 5 times x is 5x. Now we're going to do this with your standard division, okay? So just like you had a thousandth place, a hundredth place, a tenth place, and a ones place, you have the same place markers with variables, okay? So you need to treat them like that. For instance, if I were to say I have x squared plus 1, right? That's like writing right? Why would it be 101? Because this is the hundredth place, right? So it's very important that you realize that. So your tens place is always going to be your constant. So this would be written like, this should be written like this. X squared plus 0 x's plus 1. So you have to just take into account all of your place values. So if it was x cubed, you would have x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x's plus 1, because x cubed is actually your thousandth place. That would be 1001. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do long division with polynomials. Why do you think I told you guys this, right? It's not going to be hard as long as you do the long division within the problem like I just showed you. Okay? All right, so I have x cubed. I have minus 5x squared. I have minus 4x plus 8. Do I have all my places accounted for? I do. That's the first thing you want to check. And I'm going to divide x minus 1. This is my 1th place. This is my 10th place. Okay? All right. So x goes into x cubed how many times? X squared. I'm going to write x squared in the x squared column. That's right here. So I'm going to put the x squared here. And I'm going to multiply by my 1st place first. X squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. Okay, you guys, I don't want you guys writing right now. I just want you, I'll give you a chance to copy it all down. Okay? Just watch what I'm doing. Draw the line and change both of the signs. Negative 5x squared plus positive x squared is negative 4x squared. If you do this correctly, this will always cancel out. Okay? So it does. It cancels out. That means I did it correctly. And then I bring down the next term, negative 4x. Change my color. Now I ask myself, x goes into negative 4x squared how many times? Negative 4x. Because negative 4x times x is negative 4x squared. Just like a multiplication chart. What times what makes this? So negative 4x, I'm going to go my 1st place first. Negative 4x times negative 1 is positive 4x. Negative 4x times x is negative 4x squared. Draw the line, change both of the signs. Negative 4x and negative 4x make negative 8x. These should cancel out if I did it correctly, and they do. Now I just need to bring down the 8. Lastly, x goes into negative 8x, negative 8 times. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Draw the line, change both of the signs. This one for sure is going to cancel out. And today, for all purposes, this column is also going to cancel out and we'll have no remainder. Tomorrow we'll start having remainders. We're going to do 3 days of this, probably 4. I'm going to do one more. So the way I would answer this, and this is how we're going to write it. Okay? So the answer to this is this number, right? X squared. I think I'm going to write it in here. So x cubed minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 8 is equivalent to x minus 1 times x squared, x squared minus 4x minus 8. Do you see that? This times this equals this. I basically factored it using long division. Okay? All right, so go ahead if you want to copy that down. Go ahead and copy that down in your notes. I'm going to do one more. Would you guys like to start it on your own and then I do it? Or you want me just to go through the process one more time? Okay, I'm going to go through the process one more time. Okay, so I have x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 79x squared plus 20x plus 100. And I'm going to divide that by x plus 10. Let's see, let's start with the green. So x goes into x to the fourth, x cubed times. X cubed times 10 is 10x cubed. Do you notice that I put it in the x cubed column? X cubed, I'm recording, right? Yeah. X cubed times x is x to the fourth. Now I'm going to draw the line and change both of the signs. 2x cubed minus 10x cubed is negative 8x cubed, and these cancel each other out. Bring down the negative 79x squared. X goes into negative 8x cubed, negative 8x squared times. And I know it should be right there because that's the next one I have, right? So I have negative 8x squared. Negative 8x squared times 10 is negative 80x squared. Negative 8x squared times x is negative 8x cubed. Draw the line, change both of my signs. This one goes away. 80 minus 79 is positive x squared. Bring down the next one, which is 20x. X goes into x squared, x times. So let's do x times 10 is 10x. X times x is x squared. Draw the line, change both of the signs. Well, you're not supposed to be writing it at the same time as I am. Then I wouldn't be going too fast. This gets canceled. 20 minus 10x is positive 10x. Bring down the 100. Bless you. X goes into 10x 10 times. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times x is 10x. Stop. Draw the line. Change both signs. This one goes away. And this is a remainder of 0. Okay. Now I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to... On your homework, it asks you to multiply. So when I multiply, because my answer is this whole thing right here, right? I'm going to write it right here. X to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 79x squared plus 20x plus 100 is equal to x plus 10 times x cubed minus 8x squared plus x plus 10. And why do I make you do that? Because this goes back to reinforcing you that what you're doing is you're actually factoring a polynomial. Okay? The multiplication part would be to check your answer. And how would we check it? Let's check. I'm going to use a box, exactly. So checking it would be x and 10 and x cubed negative 8x squared plus x plus 10. That's the way I'm going to check it. Right? And you should get this right here. That's the, yeah, you need to check it on your homework. Okay, so 9:25. You guys have 20 minutes to work on this. Okay, on your homework. Yeah. Just start, because all of this is really just practice. Practice, practice, practice. And I need you guys to do this so badly, because if we've got 3 or 4 days of this, you've got to be solid on it, okay? All right, so get to work, guys. This is just, it's not anything new. It's just tedious, I guess, is about it. Okay, Bryce, I need you to get to work, please.